Tenth Standard English Unit 7 Prose Our Heritage A Timeless Marvel. Our heritage. Heritage means culture. A timeless marvel. Timeless means everlasting. Marvel means wonder. So, our culture an everlasting wonder. This is the meaning of the topic. Do you know this place? What is the place? It is a temple. Have you seen this site? It is a mosque. Can you name this marvelous place? What is the place? It is a church. Look at these pictures. What do you think when you see the pictures? These are all heritage buildings. Heritage buildings includes temples, mosques, churches and forts. Here there are some common features of these places. Place of worship built several years ago. Heritage buildings, priceless work of art, tall construction and religious places. So these are all the common features of above places. What do you see in this picture? Already we have seen it is a temple. What is the name of the temple? Do you know? The name of the temple is Pragadishwara Temple. The name of the temple is Pragadishwara Temple. We have many such heritage buildings, heritage temples in our country. In this lesson, we are going to learn something about Pragadishwara Temple, which is one of the World Heritage Site. The Pragadishwara Temple or the Big Temple, as it is commonly called by the natives of Thanjavur, is an architectural marvel of immense glory that has astounded the world with its stupendous proportions and grandeur. Pragadishwara Temple is commonly called as Big Temple by the natives of Thanjavur. It is a marvel in architecture. It is a marvel in architecture. Marvel means wonder. It has a grandeur look. This is an image of King Rajaraja Chola. This is Pragadishwara Temple picture. Built in the year 1010 by King Rajaraja Chola. This monument of World Heritage has for 1,000 years stood as a symbol of the flourishing sculptural expertise and a rich culture of ancient India. It was built in 1010 by King Rajaraja Chola. This monument is one of the World Heritage Site. It is more than 1,000 years old. So more than 1,000 years old, it stood as a symbol of ancient India. So how old is the temple? And who built it? The Pragadishwara Temple is 1,005 years old. King Rajaraja Chola built it. It is one of the World Heritage Site. Thanjavur, the granary of Tamil Nadu. Now we are seeing the pictures of paddy fields, and this is granary. Granary means storehouse for grain. Why it is called Granary of Tamil Nadu? Do you know? Tanjavur has so many paddy fields. More than 70% of rice grown up in Tanjavur. That is why Tanjavur is called Granary of Tamil Nadu. Is also the home of Carnatic music, dance and traditional handicrafts. Tanjavur is also called the Granary of Tamil Nadu and also the home of Carnatic music and dance and traditional handicrafts. So students, here we have a question. What is the speciality of Tanjavur? Tanjavur is called the Granary of Tamil Nadu and also the home of Carnatic music, dance and traditional handicrafts. This is the speciality of Tanjavur. Having overloaded myself with this and more information of Tanjavur, I reached the palace in search of all the glory of the old Chola capital. The author visited Tanjavur, the capital of old Chola and the granary of Tamil Nadu. This is the palace of Tanjavur. It has grandeur look. The Royal Museum at Tanjavur. These pictures are Royal Museum pictures. The 16th century palace complex was built by the Nayaks and later renovated by the Marathas. Situated close to the old bus stand, the first of the museums I visited here was the Royal Museum. Is this the might and valor of the Cholas I heard of? The author visited the Royal Museum. The palace was built in the 16th century, built by the Nayaks and later renovated by the Marathas. Renovated means repaired. So first the palace was built by the Nayaks, after that repaired by Marathas. The museum situated close to the old bus stand. The author was filled with surprise when he saw the Royal Museum. Inside of the Royal Museum, I entered a scantily lit room with drums, urns, perfume bottles, wooden boxes, manuscripts, gifts, jewelry, weapons and other belongings of the Marathas. The author was filled with surprise when he saw the things of the museum. He saw a scantily lit room with drums, urns, perfume bottles and wooden boxes, manuscripts, gifts, jewelry, weapons and other belongings of the Marathas. He saw a scantily lit room with drums, urns, perfume bottles. These are all the variety of perfume bottles, wooden boxes, manuscripts, weapons, jewelries. The jewelries are looking very awesome and beautifully look. And other belongings of the Marathas. A painting of a Maratha king welcomes you to the Darbar Hall. On the rear side of the painting, an array of Pallava and Chola statues threw light on the craftsmanship of their era. A painting of a Maratha king. This is the painting of a Maratha king. The painting welcomes us to the Darbar Hall. This is Darbar Hall. So this painting welcomes us to the Darbar Hall. On the other side of the painting, an array of Pallava and Chola statues throws light on the craftsmanship of their era. These are the good evidence of Tanjavur was ruled by the Marathas. The art gallery at the palace has an impressive look. The art gallery at the palace has an impressive lineup of granite and bronze monolithic statues which details of excavation and the century of origin clearly displayed. Monolithic means a large single block of stone. So the art gallery has an impressive look on bronze monolithic statues. Monolithic means a large single block of stone. Pallava and Chola eras were famous for patronizing monolithic statues and metal statues. Here we are seeing the god and goddesses statues. God and goddesses monolithic statues. The gods, goddesses and other statues take you to a different era. The magnificent monolithic statues evince energy and life. The aura in their eyes beam a story of fine craftsmanship and effort. The god and goddesses monolithic beautiful statues. The aura in their eyes speaks of fine craftsmanship and effort. The statues are resembles today's images and statues. Vishnu, Ganesha and Nataraja look exactly at the same as they look in today's images and statues. I also did notice a Buddha statues from the Pallava era here. The artists are Lord Vishnu, Ganesha and Nataraja statues. It looks in today's images and statues, and also he saw Buddha statues from the Pallava era here. From the palace, I moved to the Pragadishwara temple. The structure of the temple looks majestic. The temple occupies an area measuring about 750 feet by 400 feet in a fort surrounded by a moat. From the palace, the author visited the Pragadishwara temple. The structure of the temple looks very majestic. The temple occupies an area measuring 750 feet length and 450 feet breadth. It is surrounded by a moat. It is located inside a fort. Moat means a deep trench round as castle with water. It is a marvel of engineering considering the technology of those ancient times. The towering Vimanam is built up with stones with bonding and notching without use of mortar. It is a marvel in engineering. It's a marvel in engineering. Ancient techniques of bonding and notching used here. The towering of Vimanam. The towering of Vimanam is built up with stones with bonding and notching. Mortar is not used here. It was an amazing thing. Mortar means mixture of lime, sand and water. The topmost stone, weighing about 80 tons, is still a matter of discussion for engineers who are baffled as to how the builders lifted it to that height without the help of modern contrivances. The topmost stone weight is 80 tons. It was lifted to that height without the help of modern machines. Modern engineers wonder how 80 tons heavy stone was taken to the top of the temple. It was a wonderful thing. A charming tale is told about a ram being built from a village Sarapallam 4 miles away from where the gate stones was pulled up by elephants. The details of the stonework of this imposing Vimanam are representative of the masterly craftsmanship of South Indian artisans. Now we are seeing the pictures of the gate stone was pulled up by the elephants. Gate stone was pulled up by the elephants. Now we are seeing the pictures. A charming tale is told about a ram being pulled from a village Sarapallam 4 miles away from where the big stone was pulled up by the elephants. The Shilpi sculpture and the Sthapati architect came together to create their fanciful abode for Shiva. Naturally, the shape had to echo the divine Mount Kailash. In its perfect geometry and distant clarity of lines, the tower is unbeatable. The sculpture and the architect came together to create their fanciful abode for Lord Shiva. So the shape had to echo the divine Mount Kailash. This shape had to echo the divine Mount Kailash. It has perfect geometry and distinct clarity of lines. This tower is unbeatable. This tower is unbeatable. The shrine for Lord Muruga is an integral part of the temple. It is a beautiful, laboriously carved stone structure, a designer's delight. To copy the unrepeated designs on each of the short pillars of the shrine would take an artist weeks if not months. One can just imagine how long the stone chiseler would have taken to complete each pieces. This is Lord Muruga statue, the famous statue. The shrine of Lord Muruga is a beautiful curved stone structure, a designer's delight. Surely it would taken a long time to copy the design because the designs are unrepeated in each pillars. These are all unrepeated designs. I stood in awe, astonishment and reverence when I saw a walled fortress inside, a standing testimony of the Cholas, opulence and vision. The enormity of the deities reflect the staunch reverence of the king to Lord Shiva. Rajaraja, his sister and queens donated their possessions of gold and silver to this temple. The gold the king donated came from his treasury. The author stood in surprise and respect when he saw a walled fortress inside. The walled fortress inside is standing testimony of the Chola's opulence. The enormity of the deities reflects the king's reverence to Lord Shiva. Rajaraja, his sister, and queens donated their golds and silver to this temple. The king donated the gold from their treasury. These things reflects the generosity of the Chola kings and his families. The intricate carving on the pillars and the inscriptions on the walls make the temple a delight for a historian senses. The script used in the inscriptions resemble Tamil, Thai or some of the Southeast Asian languages. The script used in the inscriptions are Tamil, Thai or some of the South Indian, Southeast Asian languages. We can understand some of the letters. They are in ancient Tamil languages. That is why we can understand easily some of the letters. A huge 8-meter height Shivalinga in the Santam Santoram and Nandi statue reflect the munificence of the Cholas. The pillar cloisters beside the main structure have a series of deities and Shivalingas worthy to be admired. The murals narrate the story of Shiva's might. The Santam and Santoram and Nandi statue reflects the generosity of the Cholas. The murals of the walls narrate the story of the Lord Shivalinga. This is famous statue of Nandi. This is Nandi's famous statue. This is the front side of the statue. This is the rear side of the statue. Among the things visible are the interlocks of the granite stones. The rocks so perfectly fitted into one another at a height of 10 meters seem to share a harmonious bonding, not unnerved by the rains, winds and heat. Very well maintained, the structure will leave you with thoughts like, was it actually built in the 11th century? The rocks have been so perfectly fitted into one another at a height of 10 meters. They share a harmonious bonding unravaged by the elements at nature like rains, winds and the sunlight. The well-maintained structure evokes wonder in the onlookers. They display the architectural expertise of the Cholas. Unlike many temples, here the 58-meter tall and 13-storied Vimanam makes the Gopuram. The inscriptions of the Vimanam talk about Rajaraja Chola's gifts to the temple. In its magnanimous idea, its grandiose vision, its display of the Herculean effort in construction, its portrayal of the glorious past of the Chola regime and their patronage of arts and culture. This temple stands a testimony for all and ever. There are so many temples in our country, but something special in this temple, that is 58-meter tall, the 13-storied Vimanam makes the Gopuram. The inscriptions of the Vimanam talk about the king's gift to the temple. One can spend a whole day in the big temple and still want to come back to marvel at every detail of its beauty. Many kings had built temples to Shiva on the banks of the Kaveri. Many saints have sung in praise of these deities. But there is only one temple to Pragadishvara, and it stands tall 1,000 years after a devotee king climbed a ladder with a copper pot kalasam anointed with holy water from all the sacred rivers to dedicate it to history. Rajaraja Chola, a devotee king, constructed the temple by climbing a ladder with a copper pot kalasam anointed with holy water from all the sacred rivers to dedicate the big temple to our country. Now we are going to see a beautiful video clippings about Chola's dynasty, which is going to understand about Chola's kingdom.
The Chola Empire. The Chola dynasty is believed to have originated from the fertile valley of the river Kaveri. By the turn of the 18th century, there were three prominent kingdoms of the south: the Cheras, the Pandyas, and the Cholas, who were considered to be the most powerful of the three. The year 985 saw one of the greatest kings of southern India ascend the throne, Rajaraja Chola I, also known as Rajaraja the Great, who defeated the eastern Chalukyas of Vengai, the Pandyas of Madurai, and the Gangas of Mysore. His campaign of expansion included the capture of Sri Lanka, which remained under the Chola rule for 75 years. He also conquered the islands of the Maldives and even sent missions to Indonesia. Being an able administrator and a great lover of architecture, he commissioned the building of the magnificent temple of Tanjore. The temple is named Rajarajeshwar after him. Rajendra Chola, the heir and son of Rajaraja Chola I, took over the kingdom after his father's death and was an able ruler just like him. His greatest achievement included the conquest of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. He conquered lands right up to the banks of the river Ganga. From the holy river, he collected the sacred water in golden pots and poured it into a tank he called Chola Ganga. He then adopted the title of Gangaikonda, which means victor of the Ganga. The period under his reign came to be known as the Golden Age of the Cholas. Art, music, dance, poetry, drama, sculpture, painting, philosophy, and religion all reached new heights. Temples were the center of all activities, where the courtyard served as a school for students who were taught ancient Vedas and scriptures. It was also built to be used as a shelter by people in case of an emergency. The Cholas continued to lay much emphasis on architecture. Magnificent temples were built. The Brihadishwara temple at Tanjore is a prime example. Another famed art form of the time were the carved bronze statues. The Nataraja and the Ardhanarishwara are famous examples of this art form. The Chola Empire shrank to the region around Tanjore and soon came to an end when the last Chola king, Rajaraja III, died.
Next, consolidation. Now we are going to see some important notes of the lesson which is going to be useful for our examination. The big temple. The big temple is one of the World Heritage Sites called as Pragadishwara Temple, built by Rajaraja Chola 1010 AD. Tanjavur, ancient capital of Chola king. Tanjavur, the granary of Tamil Nadu, is also the home of Carnatic music, dance and traditional handicrafts. The Tanjavur Palace, built by the Nayaks in 16th century and later renovated by the Marathas. The Royal Museum has drums, urns, perfume bottles, wooden boxes, manuscripts, jewelry and weapons. The Darbar Hall has the painting of a Maratha king. The art gallery displays granite and bronze monolithic statues with excavation details on the country of origin. The statues of Vishnu, Ganesha, Nataraja and Buddha are the proof of the craftsmanship and effort. About the temple, the 58-meter tall and 13-storied Vimanam is built up with stones with burning and anointing without mortar. The temple's area is about 750 feet by 400 feet in a fort surrounded by a moat. The topmost stone, weight 80 tons, is lifted without latest technology which baffles engineers till this day. About the temple, the lifting of the topmost stone with the help of ramp was pulled up by elephants. The granite stone are interlocked. The rocks are perfectly fitted at a height of 10 meters, which is unnerved by the rains, winds and heat. A 1,000-year-old temple stands tall with copper pot kalasam anointed with holy water from all the sacred rivers. Deities and statues. The huge Shivalinga in the Santam and Santorum, 8.7 meter tall, reflects the reference of the King Rajaraja to Lord Shiva. The huge monolithic Nandi statue in the temple reflects the munificence of Cholas and it is an important tourist attraction. Cholas are well known for their unique bronze monolithic statues. The monolithic statues evince energy, life and they take everyone to a different era. Inscriptions and carvings. Talk about Rajaraja Chola's gift to the temple. Display the Herculean effort in construction. Portray the glorious past of the Chola dynasty. Make the temple a delight for a historian census. Talk about the temple's cleaners, sweepers and carriers of flags. The script used in the inscriptions resembles Tamil, Thai and some of the Southeast Asian languages. Next, important meanings of the lesson. Marvel, wonder. Immense, great or big. Glory, fame or beauty. Stupendous, wonderful. Renovated, repaired. Famous, well known. Valor, bravery. Impressive, attractive. Baffled, confused. Modern, new or latest. Huge, big. Munificence, generosity. Reverence, respect. Staunch, steadfast. Opulence, lavishness or richness. Scantily, insufficiently. Monolithic, a large single block of stone. Patronage, support. Opposites. Immense, small. Rich, poor. Ancient, modern. Famous, unknown. Later, earlier. Different, same. Top, bottom. Pulled, pushed. Beautiful, ugly. Short, tall. Huge, small. Visible, invisible. Whole, part. Prize, blame. Masterly, unskilled. Thank you.